Hi there. In this video, we'll be going over slope-intercept form. So our first question asks us to write the equation in slope-intercept form of a line that goes through these 2 points. So to get an equation in slope-intercept form, I need the slope and the intercept. And I don't have either one of those. So I probably want to use the slope formula first in order to get the slope. So I'll take my y value, my y's here, and I'm going to subtract the y's. 6 subtract negative 6. And then the x's, negative 3, subtract 6. That turns into plus, which gives me 12, negative 3 minus 6. And then I can divide the top and bottom here by 3, which simplifies to negative 4/3. So negative 4/3 looks like that's the slope. Well, I have one part of the equation, negative 4/3. Okay, I'll put that right there in the slope spot. Now I need to get the b, the y-intercept. And that is in this box here. So what I can do is plug in one of the points for x and y, and then solve for b. Maybe I choose to use this point. So I'm going to change y into the y-coordinate negative 6. And then here, this is multiplication, so I want to multiply by the x-coordinate from the same point, which is 6, plus b. And put that in the little box. That's what I'm solving for. Multiply here, write this over 1, divide by 3, negative 4 times 2. To get the b by itself, I'd have to add 8. And then b equals negative 6 plus 8 is 2. So I have the b, it's 2, and I'm going to go ahead and put that into the box. So now I have the entire equation. Y equals the slope of negative 4/3 and then plus 2, which is the y-intercept. And that would be my equation of the line. Okay, in number 2, we're asked for the slope-intercept form of a line that goes through this point and has this slope. So it looks like we know the slope is negative 1/5. I can plug that in right here. But I don't know the intercept. Where is this line going to cross the y-axis? So I could use this point, since it's a solution on the line, and I could plug in the x and y coordinates right in here and solve for b. So I'm going to change y into a 5. This is multiplication. So multiply, and I'm going to replace x with the x-coordinate of negative 10. And I'm solving for b. Make this a fraction. Divide by 5. Divide this by 5. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. Now to get the b by itself, I subtract 2 here and here. And b is equal to 5 minus 2. So the y-intercept is positive 3. So the equation of the line is y equals negative 1/5 x plus 3. Okay, number 3, we're asked to graph the equation, and we know that this equation has a slope and an intercept. We know that this right here is the slope, and the y-intercept is negative 1. So you want to start off by plotting the y-intercept of negative 1, which is right here on the y-axis, and then we want to make one additional point using the slope. So rise, run. So from this point, I'll rise up 3 and run 8 to the right. Make another point, and then connect them. And you'll have a line that has a y-intercept of negative 1 and a slope of up 3 over 8. All right, on number 4, we're asked to write the equation of the line graphed here in slope-intercept form. So we need a slope and a y-intercept. You can see where the line crosses the y-axis right here. That's at the point negative 1. So negative 1 is our y-intercept. Then we want to find the slope. So this I have as a point, and if I drive up the line, I can see this is another point where the line intersects the graph, the corners of the graph. So here I can find rise. I go up 1, 2, 3 units, and then I run 2 to the right. So rise over run would be 3/2, and that slope goes right here. So now I can write the whole equation of the line, put everything together, and I have y equals 2/3 x minus 1. That's the equation of the line. Okay, in number 5, we're asked to take this equation and write it in slope-intercept form. So we want the equation to look like this. So essentially, we're going to be solving for y to get the y by itself on this side. So we want y by itself. We'd want to remove the 8x first by subtracting it to both sides. That would bring down negative 3y. And on this side, we'd want, of course, the x term to come first. So negative 8x. And then the negative 21 after it. Next step, we see the negative 3 is multiplied to y, so we want to divide. Then over here, we want everything on this side to be divided by 3. So sometimes it's helpful if you divide the slope and the y-intercept separately by 3. Here you can see that your slope is going to become positive now. So we'll have a positive 8/3. And then negative 21 divided by negative 3 is positive 7. And so here we have the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we have the slope is 8/3 and we have the y-intercept is 7.